You are officially an incinerator. Welcome to Incense and Common Sense, the live streams that we do here on the Alert Zone TV. Shout out to everybody because this is a worldwide movement. Hope everybody's being safe wherever you are. Um, Before we get started, let me say this. This is another impromptu live. I think I'm gonna start doing more of these pop-up lives. Um, I know I'm gonna start doing more engagement with everybody going. But that being said, it's Monday night. It's December the 1st. Um, I can say from Oklahoma, Tennessee, maybe. I say I-40 and north. Right now, we are in the grips of some really bad weather. We got 11 inches of snow up here over the weekend. I was just looking at the news. I know that storm went east. So I hope everybody is safe out there. I know there's a lot of snow, a lot of ice, a lot of rain out there. For you guys and girls who don't live where you have freezing rain and ice storms, you don't understand how deadly they can be, not only for travel, but for power lines. So sometimes Costco's have them on sale, or you can go to Harbor Freight or wherever. Make sure you get you a generator if you live in these kinds of places, man, because it's nothing for the power to go out. So I definitely hope everybody's being safe wherever you are in this country. So shout out to everybody. Like I said, this is a worldwide movement. And definitely, all right, we got we got the man himself, the Echelon Don up in here, Sidewalk Talk. We appreciate you for dropping through. Right now, I was just looking before I went live out there in that northeast. Y'all be safe over there. If you live in that northeast corner right now, that storm we got over the weekend is heading that way. Oh, it's already over there and it's wreaking havoc. So you guys definitely be safe out there. All right, we got Destro in the building. Give everybody a couple minutes to get up in here. I noticed another thing. The later it gets, we seem to get more people in the lives. So I think I'll start doing lives maybe after 7 or after 8. I'm still gonna do midday mania from time to time, but I think I'll do more lives in the evening or at night or what have you. Right now, I got some things going on with my truck. If I can get all this going and back in the direction I want to get it going in, yeah, I'm gonna definitely do more live streams. And next year, you guys and girls are gonna see me on location. You're gonna see a lot of things next year. Definitely. Also, make sure. Okay. You know what? I actually like my M&P shield has that rough texture. I've yet to hold the Canic MC9 Prime. I'm gonna be honest. I'm really reserved about micro and compact guns, especially in the 9mm. I prefer a full size. That's why I went with the Echelon. Although I was okay with that RXM. I don't know how a Glock 19 shoots, but I can tell you that RXM shot very, very smooth to be kind of to me, smaller than I'm used to. But I'm like you, I prefer my Echelon, man. It shoots, it's everything I could want in a EDC. I'll be honest, I wish they made a 380 like that. I'd get a 380, but since they make it in 9, I have to say, I don't think. By the way, shout out to Guns and Journey. My girl finally responded to me. We like to keep our eyes on you. You have the compact Echelon? Okay. Well, my arm is the biggest reason that I don't too much care for the micro and compact guns because of it just has to be a soft shooting gun. I'm giving it some consideration, maybe next year on taking a gunsmithing course. I think some of these guns, I think if it has the right springs and things, it'll make it a little bit easier for me to shoot. But yeah, I definitely love that echelon. A 7 shot 357 last week. It's a beefy 4 inch barrel. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna get me another 357. I would love to get a 357 in a 6 inch barrel, a 6 or 7 shot. I shot a Dan Weston 357, and I couldn't believe how. I thought I was shooting like a 22. I could not believe a 357 didn't have that much no recoil, but Dan Weston is really on that upper end, so you get what you pay for. Um, yeah. Okay, well, let me go ahead on. So we'll do this. We'll get into the meat and potatoes of this particular live stream. We'll talk for a few minutes. And then we'll go ahead on and just kind of have like an open discussion. I do 30, 45 minutes with y'all. So shout out to, I want to say, is it Lollipop 201 or 2201? I'm sorry I didn't write your name down. You reached out to me in the comment section and let me know HR38. We had a discussion. I told you I would do a live on it. And you know what? Knock on wood, pat myself on the back. Since I started High Alert TV, one of the main things I've been screaming about is national reciprocity. Especially me being from Louisiana and living in Iowa. And I really didn't think about national reciprocity until I actually started doing a whole lot more traveling in personal vehicles. And that's when I started thinking, because living in Louisiana, Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Florida, Arkansas, we didn't have to worry about them being gun restricted states. So as long as I could show them, hey, I got this gun is registered to me, or it belongs to me, they ran the serial number, I've never had an issue. I didn't really make a big deal, to be honest. I didn't get a concealed carry permit until I moved to Iowa. In Louisiana, long before constitutional carry came, I can tell you, for all the knuckleheads that I ran into at NOPD and other law enforcement agencies in Louisiana, nobody ever asked me about a permit. They never made a big deal about it down there. All they wanted to know is, does this gun belong to you, and do you have permission to have it? They run your serial number on it, they run your name, and they let you go on about your business. I didn't think about a concealed carry permit until I got to Iowa, because at the time when I moved to Iowa, in order to buy a firearm, you had to have a permit to purchase, or a concealed carry permit. And where I came from in Louisiana, all you had to do was throw your ID or your driver's license on the counter, put some money up there, fill out the little application, the paperwork, and go on about your business. And so that's when I really got into permits, when I moved here in Iowa. And that's when I really started paying attention to this reciprocity thing. And it opened my eyes to a whole lot of different things. And I had been screaming and screaming and screaming. And then I started this channel. And it's been one of the things you can go back and see that I've been hollering about, having a national reciprocity. Because I think if I can drive a car in all 50 states, I should be able to carry it all 50 states. And when Trump got elected, the first time, I didn't have a channel. It wasn't until he got elected, well, Biden, and then he got elected this time, that I said, when he gets in this time, this will be the chance to get any gun laws we need passed. Because once Donald Trump get out of office, there's not going to be another Republican nor Democrat that's going to entertain a national reciprocity. I can say that because throughout the years, the Republicans have had the majority. They've had the House, the Senate, the Supreme Court, and the presidency, and they didn't do nothing. And the Dems, the same thing. Like I told you guys and girls, when it comes to our Second Amendment rights, it's just like abortion. All it is a political football, something for both sides to have some leverage on. Donald Trump is going to be the person, this administration, to get this through. It is been written, It's been introduced. Um, at the filming of this video, I have not got it confirmed that it has passed the House, but as I've filming this video right now, doing this live stream, from what I've been able to research so far, it has been written, it has been introduced, it does have some co-sponsors, and it seems right now like it's something that can gain steam. I say this: if we can get it through before the midterms, that would be a good thing. I think I'm gonna have to start really banging the hammer on this national reciprocity thing. You guys and girls know I told you about the Trump administration bringing in the Civil Rights Division for the Second Amendment to start going after these different states on a national level to go after all these unconstitutional laws, and that's good. This is the issue, whether you like Donald Trump or not, whether you agree with a lot of things or not. We talking strictly to a. This is the issue we all need to get behind: a national reciprocity law. So that way, if you live in St. Louis, Missouri, for those of you who never been to St. Louis is split by the Mississippi River. St. Louis, Missouri is in Missouri. East St. Louis is in Illinois. You got to cross the Mississippi River. Just something as simple as going across the bridge can get you hemmed up now. It shouldn't be like that. National reciprocity is something we need, especially on a federal level, and especially because California is not going to budge. Now, shout out to Eyes and Ears Tactical, because he's pointed this out way back when he had 3 subscribers before his channel was Eyes and Ears. California has red cities, blue cities, but it's a red state. That makes a lot of sense. It's more 2A friendly than people think it is. The reason the laws are so strenuous is the parts where it's blue. And you know, there was a time those blue cities was blamed on us, but we're not enough for the California population, so you can't blame it on us. Nevertheless, that being said, it's been their leverage. Since California has always used abortion rights and banged the drum on that, anytime a state went after abortion, California went after the Second Amendment. So we need a national reciprocity law. Now, like I said, I understand getting laws passed is going to have to be a compromise. I don't like the states' rights as far as what we can have, but I'm willing to negotiate states' rights as far as what we can have if I can get national reciprocity. Because you guys and girls know I have several firearms. I have a little small arsenal. And I have firearms that could be California compliant or compliant in the Northeast. That's another place we need them for, especially Massachusetts and all them kind of places that play them little crackhead games over there. So, you know, like I said, I know you shouldn't give an inch, because if you give them an inch, they want a mile. I would be willing to give states the rights. What's going on, 313 Magnum? I appreciate you stopping by. I would be willing to give states the rights to determine what we can have that's reasonable, as long as I know I got the feds to back me up. And if you stop me and call yourself trying to ramrod me, the feds gonna step in. Now, I understand this. I can see this law becoming federally passed under Donald Trump, and then I can see it going to court and being in litigation. And that would be a knockdown, drag out fight, but you know what? At least it's finally being brought in the bill. As far as I know, I've never heard of a major push for national reciprocity. I know it's a really great thing to know that I can have it on me in all 50 states. Like I said, unfortunately, you got to learn the gun laws where you're going, but I would love to have it on me on all 50 states and not have to be worried about, like right now. Next year, there's some gun tubers I plan on visiting. You guys and girls gonna see me do a road trip next year. and I'm gonna be heading out east. Illinois is the next state over. Some of the guns that I would love to take with me to other channels, I won't be able to bring with me because I have to go through Illinois. Um, and I would be considered to have illegal firearms right now under their laws. So just things like that, And then, if I get stopped on Interstate 80, for those of you who don't know, Interstate 80 in Illinois is a drug corridor. And they stop people all the time. I drive a truck for a living. They sit out there all the time and stop out of towners. I don't need to get stopped even with these guns in my trunk. And they give me a bunch of shit. So, um, with that being said, they don't recognize my concealed carry permit also in the state of Illinois. Neither do they in the state of Minnesota. So it's just things like that. We can go ahead on and eliminate all this nonsense, all this foolishness. Abortion used to be a national thing, and then the Supreme Court knocked it back down to a state by state. Well, I think we need to see what it's like to have a national reciprocity, and we need to keep it there. So I appreciate the support. I appreciate the info about HR38. I am going to do more research on it. I definitely plan on keeping you guys and girls informed about this law. I really want to see it go through. And I'll be honest, if they would invite me down to Congress and sit in front of the congressional committee or whatever they do down there, and I will talk to them about the benefits, the pros, because there's way more pros than there are cons to people having the right to bear arms in all 50 states. If you live in New Jersey, you know something as simple as going over from Jersey into New York City. How many people live in Jersey legally armed, went across one of those bridges, forgot they had it on them, and the next thing they got stopped and they wound up going to jail for having a firearm, having a pistol in New York City? For those of you who don't know, all the boroughs, New York City as they call it, you couldn't have a handgun. Now, upstate is totally different, or was totally different. I'm not 100% sure how the laws are now, since they went from a may issue to a shall issue state. I know they like California dragging their foot, but still, And shout out to Dr. T also for letting me know if you can get your permit in Utah, New York will recognize you, and it's easier to get one in New York. But you know what? I think it's sad that we have to go and get permits for states we don't live in to be able to carry there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would love this national reciprocity law. Like I said, from what I've read so far, it does state if you are able to, and they got the language right, constitutional and concealed carry. That is the language that we need to specify. They made it clear, if you are able to carry in your own state, you should be allowed to carry anywhere else. So that's that. I know some states it's gonna be harder to get your concealed carry permit than others. I'll say this. If you see this, if you know anybody that's thinking about getting a concealed carry permit that don't have it, go get it. And the reason I'm telling you that is, let's just say this law get passed. Do you understand how the requirements in certain states, these states that go after the Second Amendment, gonna change? They're gonna add more training time. They're gonna add a lot to it. So go ahead on so you can get grandfathered in. Because that's the one thing about it. It does have a grandfather clause, and I love that. So that's definitely something you guys and girls want to look out for and be on alert about. You want to make sure definitely that you are supporting a law like this, man. It's nothing like being able to go and visit loved ones or go and ride across state lines or whatever, and you got all your paperwork and you ain't got to worry about going to jail. So I definitely want you guys and girls to jump on that, take on it. So with that being said, we go ahead on. I'll chit chat with you guys for a couple more minutes about. We can just have an open talk about firearms. I was looking at a video earlier yesterday, about some of these 2011s, man. And my goodness, yeah, they up there. But anyhow, how about you guys and girls? Anybody make any purchases lately? Um, and if you did, what you get? All right, we got Twin Gen 22, and that what's going on, man. I can't complain. You know what? I got a question. Does anybody in the chat have one of those new Glocks? Was it called the V? Uh, if you do, what do you think about it? You guys and girls know I'm not a Glocky. I saw the Honest Outlaw do a video about him. Maybe because I haven't seen one in person, they all look the fucking same to me. I don't see what the difference is. Um, the V series. Okay, the V series. Yeah, I don't know what's the difference with them, but I'm not excited regardless. You know, I'm just I don't know. I'm just not a big Glocky. I mean, although I think eventually I'll get me a 17 MOS, I'll be happy with that. I don't think I'll buy nothing. Okay, so they're not compatible with switches. Okay, yeah, I see Twin Gen. You got the Glock everything. You got all the damn numbers. Yeah, it's amazing, man. It's amazing. You got all the numbers. But you know what? Let me say this. I give Glockies. I call people like eyes and ears tactical Glockies. I just give them shit. Okay, okay. The MEP 22 LR. I give eyes and ears and a bunch of people I know shit that buy Glocks, but at the end of the day, they know a Glock don't do nothing but run. Glock Gen 3 and 4. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah. I tell you what, man. We living in the golden age of firearms, though, man. I tell you what, it's a good time to be into the Second Amendment. It's a good time to buy firearms, man, because you can spend $300, $250, $300, and buy you something that'll protect your life. You guys and girls who knew the firearms, you guys and girls who knew the firearms may not know this, but Taurus had a horrible reputation. When they came out with the G2, I waited years before I finally got one. And I'll tell you, I did a video on it. I never in a million years thought a gun that cheap would work that good. I can tell you, I got at least 500 through mine, 500 rounds. And it's never jammed on me once. I can't even tell that lie. My G2 has never jammed on me one time. Okay, okay, them SKSs, yeah. And man, it's just like now everything is just you got a lot of affordability. I'm starting to learn a lot of these firearm terms like modular and fire control because I've always believed in just buying something and keeping it stock. But SAR, that SAR, yeah, I got the chance to shoot SAR. That SAR 9 SOCOM, man, that thing shot good. And that T-Sauce, the first time I saw T-Sauce, I didn't buy it because I didn't know nothing about it, man. But yeah, SAR cheap now too. Yeah, I tell you what, from what I've seen of SAR, they're pretty reliable. You know, you don't have to go out and buy an $800, $900 gun to protect yourself now. You can spend $300, $400 and buy you something to protect yourself if you're just looking for something specifically for that, and you can be okay. As I tell everybody, 2 pistols, a shotgun, and a rifle is all you really need. That's the bare minimum. And now, shit, going in the damn gun store is like going in a candy factory, man. It's like a kid in a candy factory. You get up in there, and you go to It's almost like a drug addict. You go to fucking shaking when you walk in a damn gun store, man. It can become a contagious and addictive. It can definitely become contagious and addictive, man, buying firearms. Um, you're always gonna have people, hey man, let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you something I think in modern time that's fueling a lot of the addiction. GunTube. GunTube is fueling the addiction because there's a lot of people that we've talked to that went and got themselves armed. And then there was people that started going to the range and shooting different people's guns. Because one thing about it, I've never been to a shooting range where there wasn't a bunch of friendly people out there. I don't care what they look like. They can be the hardest motorcycle looking Pookie and Ray Ray you want. If you go up to them at a gun range and ask them, hey man, can I shoot that? I've never seen somebody say, nah, you can't shoot my guns. You go to shooting some of this other shit, and the next thing you know, you go to buying up everything. Yeah, man, GunTube has inspired people to get legally armed, but for people who said, okay, I got enough, in order to say I have enough guns and I'm not gonna buy anymore, you gotta cut GunTube out of your rotation. If GunTube is in your rotation, you're gonna buy. If you started an addiction. Now I say this. This is a healthy addiction for a number of reasons. Number one, when you're buying these guns, you never know what's gonna turn out to start to increase in value. That's number one. Number two, this something when you leave this world, you can leave behind. You can leave your arsenal to your family, and they can still hunt and protect themselves with that. So it's something that you can pass on. Another thing about firearms, if you put your allowance or however you buy your guns or whatever, if you put your money into that, you see where your money go. It's like people would attack me and say, "Would you keep buying all them fucking guns?" Blah blah. And I would tell them, I don't eat a lot of fast food. McDonald's, Burger King, rallies. I don't eat all that shit all the time like that. I know people that 5 days out of 7 they eating out in the street. I tell them at the end of the month, you add up the money you spent in the street, and I add up what I've spent on the gun, and we just spent the same money, or you just spent more than me, and I got a gun to show for it, and all you had was a temporary feeling of your stomach. Your money, your $500-600 went in your mouth and out your ass. I still got mines that I can show you for it. I'm not speaking against that. I'm just saying, people buy when it comes to hobbies and things you like. You buy what you like. I like firearms. Period. Point blank. So, but definitely, man. And these companies to me have gotten in so much of competition with each other that they're giving us better weapons for a better price. I do like that about the companies now. For those of you who knew the firearms, y'all don't understand. The first thing I ever shot was a Larson 25. Everybody remember them old school, them little chrome 25s with the pearl handle on it, with the pearl grips. Everybody remember that if you used to shoot back in the days. I think it was 87. Yeah, my daddy got killed in 87. It was in 87 I shot that was the first gun I ever shot. My uncle let me shoot his little 25 Larson. Larson, Jimenez, Intratec. What's going on, man? I can't call it. Just sitting here having some chit chats with everybody. Okay, you like Gerson? Yeah, I don't know a lot about him yet. But the companies back in the 80s, man, they sold horrible weapons. I'm sorry. They sold everything was like shooting fucking hammers. How's the snow? Oh man, we got 11 inches up here, man. We got 11 inches. And thank goodness I had a snowblower. I went and got that snowblower going. But yeah, man, we had the choice of firearms back in the 80s 90s, even the early 2000s, man, was shit. Um, Smith and Wesson kept a pretty good reputation. Remington, they let themselves fall apart. Ruger has always had a pretty good reputation. I mean, it wasn't like Ruger was seen like the standard, but Ruger had a pretty good reputation. A lot of companies went out of business because they were selling horrible weapons, man. And now that we didn't got turned it around, in my honest opinion, now this is talking. To me, in modern times, I'll say, which is 2025, in the last 10 years, I'll say the company that made a lot of companies step their game up and not be ripping everybody off was when Canic started becoming a thing in America. If you've never shot a Canic, you don't know what you're missing. If you've never bought a Canic, you guys and girls have seen my TP9 SA. Man, all that is a workhorse, man. All that thing do is run. It does is run, and it shoots so doggone smooth. But if you've never shot a Canic, for what you get for that firearm, that's a easily $700, $800, $900 firearm that you're getting for $350, $400, and all of them come with holsters. They come with all the cleaning supplies. They come with extra back straps out the box. Canic made a lot of companies say, hey man, even SAR already made it clear. When we was at a regular meetup 5, they gonna start targeting the Canic. That's gonna be their target price. Man, Canic changed the game. I mean, when they came out with the SFX, I got my SFX for $400. A gun that's won world championships, and I got it for $400. I think Canic made a lot of people step their game up, and I'm glad, because everybody responded. Yeah, man, everybody responding properly, man. Everybody like, okay, even if you're gonna spend more, the standard has been laid. And yeah, this is the golden age of firearms, especially for pistols, though, man. For handguns, man, this is the golden age. You almost can't go wrong with. I mean, you got a few bullshit. I think High Point is High Point, and that Sky, that SCCY. Yeah. Other than that, I don't think there's much of anything in the gun store right now, a handgun, that's not reliable. I mean, because here's the thing. If you're new to firearms, I want you to listen to what I'm about to say. The average person that buy firearms and shoot them ain't gonna lay it in the mud. We ain't gonna lay it in the water. We ain't gonna put it in the sand and see what they do and all that. Don't base your choice on, well, it didn't withstand a torture test. The majority of the people, man, we bought them guns. I ain't going to throw none of my guns in the fucking mud and see how I shoot, because I ain't got no sponsor. Now, if somebody want to sponsor this channel and give me some firearms or loan me some firearms to review and ask me to do that, yeah. If I got to buy the motherfucker, I'm not doing it. Oh, man, it's going pretty good, man. Just sitting here chit-chatting with everybody, having a little gun talk, you know. Hit the likes button when you come in. Make sure you share the program. And definitely also, make sure you support and push HR38, House Resolution 38. We need that. National Reciprocity. But, yeah, like I was saying, also, Dr. T did a wonderful video earlier when she talked about the ammunition that she chose to carry for her defense and what have you. And she said she picked something that made her comfortable. And I always tell you, when it comes to you getting something to protect yourself, get what you're comfortable with. A full-size 45 might make this person comfortable, but a compact 380 would be what makes you comfortable. Get what makes you comfortable when it comes to buying something you're gonna protect yourself with. Now, if you decide you want to buy a bunch of guns to go out and try, that's fine. But when it comes to your EDC, are the guns that you carry the most and the gun that you plan on protecting your home with, I always say make sure it's something you comfortable with, something you can comfortably handle. Be realistic, you know what I mean? I got like I said, I got that 454 Kazoo in there. It's not for home defense because I am definitely not grabbing that. Because I'd be shooting up everything but the people I'm supposed to shoot. That's too much for me. But I always wanted one of those. Okay, take that FN with you to protect yourself. That's what's up. Like I said, man, whatever you choose, I don't judge people for what they choose. All I say is, especially when you're going out in public, choose something you can control really good because you have to think about it. Sometimes you may have to defend yourself when there's other people around. Because in a perfect scenario, your spider senses get to go off and you get to see the threat coming up the street and you can prepare. But in the real world, it don't happen like that. Shit happens just that quick. So you always want to get something that if you got to return fire or put somebody down, you comfortable with it, you accurate enough with it that it can put rounds on target where you need to get. And that's the main thing. And that when you pull the trigger, it goes bang. Because ain't nothing worse than having a gun that when you pull the trigger, it don't go bang. Or like with High Point, when you pull the trigger and let it go, it fall out. Okay. Yeah, I got a cousin, man. He carries the Ruger 5.7, man, and he loves that. He loves that thing, man. That's all. Time I talk to him, oh man, yeah, I got that Ruger with me. I got that 5.7 with me. And I always tell him when they sell the extended the base plates, the plus 10, he says shit. 21 rounds enough. If I can't get them in 21 rounds, I just need to go ahead and commit suicide. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. You just have to get what makes you comfortable, that you're comfortable with shooting with. And I still carry my PK380. I wish they would make a 4.5, 5-inch barrel 380 that hold about 17, 18 rounds. I probably would go back to a 380. But I got that Springfield Echelon, man, and I'll tell you, I don't care what nobody say. I love my Echelon. It is a smooth shooting gun, man. I can shoot it. I can put rounds on target. Okay, yeah, like I said, having sticks and having extended mags has its pros and cons. Uh, like I said, if I got my 380 on me, it's 8 rounds with a spare mag. I think that's more than enough to get the job done. And I carry from time to time. When I feel like I need to go somewhere where I got to have maximum firepower, well, that's what I got the Echelon for. And if I don't think the Echelon is enough, I'll get the SD9 and grab the stick. So I done ran about 8 or 9 times with the stick I got with that gun, and I haven't had a jam. So I got a rule when it comes to extended mags. If I can fill it up 5 times and run it 5 times through a particular firearm with no jam ups, then I trust my life with it. If I got jam ups, I ain't gonna carry the extended mag. I'll just carry the factory mag. I know a lot of people, especially young people, that's what get them killed. They have a good gun, they go buy these junk aftermarket mags, and the mag fails on them, and it costs them their life when they really need it. So having 30 rounds don't do you no good if the fucking mag don't work. So just think about that kind of stuff. That is kind of one of the advantages we do have over the guys in the street. They don't go out shooting like that, so they don't know if their fucking equipment works. But I ain't gonna hold you guys and girls up. With that being said, I appreciate y'all stopping by and catching us live. Hit me in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Definitely make sure you support HR38. We need to make this a thing, and we need to get it through while we can. With that being said, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, y'all have a safe night out there. And until next time, stay safe, stay on high alert. We out.